We are building the welcome message project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. So far, we have been looking at, let's say, how we make functions flexible, how do we make them robust, safe by catching errors. In the same spirit, let's move forward and learn a new concept, which is that is of keyword arguments. Now, in the literature, you will often find something called args and kwargs. We've already seen args, which is basically variable arguments, as we just saw in our function short form. We could give multiple words, for example, to this function. Now, kwargs is, let's say, the next step of it, stands for keyword arguments, and it's always with these two stars. Basically, keywords arguments, as the name suggests, allow us to pass specific named arguments to a function. Once again, the best way to understand this is, well, apply this to a project and we learn the best. So I come into my code, I give it a new function completely. Notice this time round, I call this function, let's say, name strength. So perhaps, I want to, remember this is a whole thing where, I'm asking user for some information and then I'm going to validate if the user is, let's say, qualifying to be admitted or not, right? So that's the whole premise of the function. So I said, okay, well, let me create a function called, let's say, name strength. Again, the name doesn't matter. Important point is I'm going to give an argument, let's say, star, say, full name. Now, as I said, this is now a keyword argument, and hence I must provide these two stars. Now, what this means is that this function is now expecting named arguments from outside. For now, let's just understand what this does. I will just print, for example, let's say, full name. Of course, we'll pass this from outside. I'll also print, let's say, the type of full name. And later on, we'll come back and see how we develop this further. So I just go and say print full name and print type of full name. When I run this piece of code, notice that function has been declared. I go and create, for example, name strength. Let's say it's expecting name arguments. So I just say, for example, name is say we need, maybe salutation is say Mr. Let's say AKA is equal to say hero. I don't know, just saying something. And so on, right? Let's just that what we are passing doesn't really matter, but get the idea that I'm passing these arguments with like some name is equal to something, salutation is something. So I'm passing this as specific keywords with a given value. That's the important point I'm trying to make. And when we pass this, notice this function is called, and interestingly, I printed the full name. So it accepted all this. I printed the full name. Clearly, this is a dictionary. So the lesson to be learned here is that keyword arguments inside a function are a dictionary. Now, how do I know this is a dictionary? Well, I've put the type of this full name, that is a dictionary. We see that clearly. Even otherwise, we can clearly see that this is a key value pair. And interestingly, notice whatever I pass in as the keywords have become the keys, and the values are again what I pass. Now, interesting bit is that I am not limited to passing only these. I can pass, let's say, another, let's say, alias, is, for example, say YByte. I'm just putting something, something like that, right? So when I do this, notice it allowed me to pass a different number of keyword arguments. So this time round, the dictionary has 4 keys, which is name, salutation, aka, and let's say alias. And those values are also been provided from outside. Now, obviously, these values need not be, let's say, strings. So I can possibly pass, let's say, 8. But that's perfectly fine because 8 is basically now a value in the dictionary. So the point is, through these keyword arguments, we can pass any number of named arguments into a function. And inside the function, they become like a dictionary, which we can then, work with. So we'll come back and build this function further. But I hope this has been clear to you. Like I said, examples really help here. So look for examples, try them out in your code, and that will always be helpful. Take care. Thank you so much. Again, this way of learning where we are applying concepts to activities. If this appeals to you, look at our website. We have many, many such activities. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.